Tim Good grabbed the edge of the desk and pushed his padded chair away from the radar console, rolling it forward and back, bleeding off nervous energy while he took a scant moment to study the electronic blip moving northeast. At least once a day, some clueless pilot flew their little Cessna or Piper or Beechcraft across the imaginary line that fenced the United States Capitol. Bewitched, ballsy, or bewildered, Good muttered under his breath, rolling his chair all the way forward again. A low growl rumbled in his chest. Seriously, dude, all you gotta do is look at the chart. Dozens of blips and corresponding transponder codes moved across his scope. It wasn't like this moron was the only aircraft he had to worry about at the moment. Good adjusted the mic on his headset, as if that would do any good, and tried the radio for the third time. Aircraft on a 60 degrees south of Nokesville, identify yourself on this frequency. Nada. Nothing. Nordo. Aircraft were not permitted within 30 nautical miles of the Washington Reagan Airport VOR, the SFRA, or Special Flight Rules Area, unless they met 3 specific criteria. They needed a flight plan. They had to be in communications with air traffic control, and their transponder had to squawk on the assigned frequency. This inbound numbnuts was batting 0 for 3 and making a beeline for the Capitol at 120 knots, covering 2 miles every minute. Good waved over his shoulder for a supervisor with his left hand. His right moved for the computer mouse on his desk, activating the red and green signaling lasers located around the SFRA. Aided by radar tracking, the intense beams were aimed directly at the offending aircraft, warning the pilot to make an immediate 180-degree turn. See it? Flee it. This guy continued inbound with no response, undeterred by the warning lights. At this point, Good reported this track of interest to the Air National Guard duty officer at the Eastern Air Defense Sector, or EADS, 390 miles to the north in Rome, New York. Her name was Lieutenant Mary Wong. Both were frequent flyers when it came to SFRA incursions, and the two had spoken many times before. "Got another TOI for you," Good said, getting down to business with the particulars. "Bullseye 240 degrees for 31 nautical miles, airspeed 120 knots. Bullseye was the VOR at Reagan National Airport, the center of the restricted airspace circle. Lieutenant Wong kept Good on and notified her commander, who had a direct line to the United States Coast Guard Blackjack helicopter crews at Reagan and the F-16s with the 121st Fighter Squadron at Andrews. Both of these units were immediately placed on a heightened state of alert. It cost the American taxpayer over $50,000 to scramble a single F-16, so no one took the action lightly, nor would they hesitate once certain tripwires were crossed. "Who is this guy?" Lieutenant Wong said. "He's Bullseye 240 degrees for—" She paused, then spoke again. "Still Nordo?" Good tried the offending aircraft on the radio once more before answering Wong. "Correct," he said. "Either he's having radio problems or he's ignoring me altogether." Wong was in deep conversation with her supervisor, ticking down the checklist of responses for an incursion into restricted airspace. Good watched the green dot, expecting to see a Coastie MH-65 launch on his screen at any moment. Time to decide. 12 minutes. The inbound track of interest met the criteria for an immediate Operation Noble Eagle. 1. Conference call. Lieutenant Wong began by contacting 601st Air Operations Center at Tyndall Air Force Base, Continental U.S. NORAD region, CONR, headquarters near Panama City, Florida, where Lieutenant General Rhett Ferrer served as the CFAC, or Combined Forces Air Component Commander.